How did Dustin May look in his first appearance this spring, plus an eye-popping performance from one of the team's top pitching prospects? This is Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafron, a former national radio sports anchor, born and raised in St. Louis and a lifetime Cardinals fan. And welcome into another episode of Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Thank you to our everydayers for always being here. Thank you to the new people who are here and jumping on board and enjoying some Cardinals talk. This is a show that serves Cardinal Nation, gives you all the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode brought to you by MLB The Show 26. Be sure to visit MLBThe.show/Locked On and use code Locked On to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. You can pre-order now, available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. On today's show, we have got the Cardinals Spring Breakout Roster. We're going to be talking about that. That was released, like a 40-man roster that they have made available. We're going to talk about what the opening day lineup might look like. But we're going to start with the game that took place on Thursday against the Pirates, a game that the Cardinals would win by a score of 3-2 to move their Grapefruit League record to 7-4. So they're real good. Go out and buy some tickets. Yeah. You Scrooges? I'm kidding, sort of. But in what has become the norm this spring, the Cardinals pitching ends up leading the way to victory with multiple impressive performances. So let's hop right into things with our 3 stars of the game. Number 1 star was a little bit tough because there are 2 guys that it was kind of up between, and I wanted to give to both of them, but I'm a generous guy. But since it was the first time that we've seen this guy in action this spring, I'm going to give it to the old man of the rotation, Dustin Big Red May, the Cardinals prize free agent signing this offseason. He has been on what they call like a veteran schedule so far, where he's doing everything. He's working out, he's doing his bullpens and whatnot. Just wasn't in games yet. They didn't need to push him into game situations yet. Rest of the rotation minus Hunter Dobbins, who's still rehabbing that knee. They're on their second and third appearances of spring games already. May making his debut on the road against the Pirates, a 3-hour bus trip to get to Bradenton for May and the boys. And, we'd heard how good things have looked for May behind the scenes from the excellent reporting that we get from the Cardinals beat writers. But on Thursday, we finally got to see it live against the Pirates in a game. And I have to say that at least what I saw, in my opinion, of what was going on with Dustin May on Thursday, pretty darn encouraging. The fastball, the sinker, lots of life in both of them. The heat, obviously, was there. Velo between 97 and 99 miles per hour for Dustin May. Yeah, thank you. Derek Gould pointed out that those are like 2 miles an hour more than where he was last year. And we know that he was recovering from injuries, and he had that weird throat thing where he got lettuce caught and lost all the weight. So physically, he feels great. He looked great today. The sweeper that he relied on a lot last year while he's with Boston, it shows a ton of bite, but he had the velo that made that pitch even, more dynamic. He allowed just 1 hit over 3 innings of work, struck out 1. He walked 1 on 42 pitches. So he got his workload in. And the Pirates had a lot of their top guys in the lineup. This was not some split squad poop team that they put out there. Connor Griffin was not there, which was a bummer to get to see him. O'Neal Cruz not in the lineup either. But you had Mangum and Lau, whom they acquired from Tampa Bay. Longtime Pirate Brian Reynolds, free agent acquisition Ryan O'Hearn, Joey Bart, former first overall pick Henry Davis. You had last year's Gold Glove winner Jared Triolo, as well as another former first rounder and Nick York, who they got from Boston in that Quinn Priester deal, who's now in Milwaukee and had that sick season last year out of nowhere. It may look solid against them. I'm not going to say he was dominant by any means. It wasn't like he just breezed right through them all, but he pitched really well. 1-2-3 first inning with a couple of ground outs and a flyout. Second inning, gave up a leadoff single to O'Hearn, but he got Bart to ground into a 6-4-3 double play and got Davis to pop out in foul territory. Third inning started with a 4-pitch walk to Triolo, who then stole second base. But then May made the defensive web gem of the game, if you haven't seen it online yet, when York hit a grounder up the middle that May snagged barehanded. Normally a big no-no, especially in spring games. I don't want you, jamming a finger or breaking a finger or anything like that. But, it was just instinct. The ball came up the middle and he snagged it with his bare hand. Triolo was on second base and had broke for third base already, so was able to get him rather easily. Just tossed it over to Gorman. They throw him out. That allows York to get on first base. It's fielder's choice. If you're when you're marking things down, it would be a fielder's choice. He got the next guy to pop out on the infield to Burley over at first, and then York ends up stealing second base, but May picks up his one strikeout of the game when he whiffs Mangum on just a naughty sweeper to end the inning. It was great to see him finally on the mound wearing the Cardinals uniform. Now, obviously, we've seen him working out with the bullpens and working on the fields and doing his thing, but to see him finally in a game in a Cardinals uniform. I was watching the Pirates telecast version of it, and they were talking about how weird it was to see him, without his big poofy red hair coming out the back of his hat, but they were very much impressed with what they saw, just of how just smooth he looked on the mound. And, the velo that he gets where it's 97, 98, 99, and it just looks so effortless. Like it just pops out of his hand. And you can see why he was a special pitcher at one point. And the injuries have really taken a toll on him. And it's been a rough couple of years. But that looked like the same Dustin May, minus all the hair, that we saw when he was with the Dodgers and he was on, the top of his game and is one of the best pitching prospects in baseball. That's what that looked like. So that was impressive. And most importantly, he didn't get hurt today. Came out of it, scot-free, which has always been the biggest hurdle for May in his major league career. So bravo, Dustin May. Excellent first start as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now up next, we've got stars number 2 and 3. Number 2 had an argument to be the number 1 star of this game after the display that he put on in a Cardinal uniform today. We'll get into that coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. Workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inbox overflowing, and that one position that you still got to fill, it's still open. It's sitting there wide open. And when the pressure's on and you need the right hire, that's a job for Sponsored Jobs. Indeed, Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. They're not just random people. No, they're the people who have the skills and the experience and the location that you're looking for, somebody you want to hire. So you're not just hoping that the right candidate's going to stumble across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you are hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs, and listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status that it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. So go to Indeed.com/podcast right now. Support our show, Locked On Cardinals, by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. College basketball is nonstop. You got the big games. You got the tight spreads, the momentum swings every single night. We're going to get into tournament play here real soon. From early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts, there's always action on the board. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that college basketball energy that you love into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. Rivalry games, ranked matchups, mixed spreads, totals, player props, whatever it is that you want to put together, get creative. Have some fun with it. However you see the slate playing out, it's up to you. Then apply that profit boost and instantly bump up the potential payout. You can go safe if you want to. That's fine. Or go bold. Ride with the team that you've been following all season long. Arizona, maybe. Arizona's kind of on fire. You still rolling with Mizzou? You still like MIZZOU? It's your parlay, your style. Now with more upside behind it, head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day, and thank you for all of you being able to make Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. It's incredible, the response that we have gotten from everybody for all of our shows across the board. We appreciate you guys. And now that baseball is back, lock in by joining our Everydayer Club if you haven't already. Get you ad-free episodes and access to our group chat on Discord for the next week or so. You can use the code word SPRING, SPRING, for a free month. Try it out. Go to LockedOnSTLCardinals.supercast.com or tap that link in the show notes. So after Dustin May's solid start, again, I'm not getting over excited about it where I'm like, oh man, here we go. It was good. He was healthy. The velo was there. It was nice. Okay. But what we saw next was wow, eye-popping. They turned the ball over to Cardinals' former minor league pitcher of the year, not just for the Cardinals, but minor league pitcher of the year for the entire minor leagues. Quinn Mathews won that award in 2024. Quick recap, in case you're not familiar with Quinn Mathews, because not everybody is, but he explodes on the scene in 2024 after he got drafted in the 4th round out of Stanford in the 2023 MLB draft. That year of 2024, when he went pro, he went to 4 different levels in that one season. Started at Palm Beach, went to Peoria, then Springfield, wrapped up the season at Memphis, 26 starts between 4 teams. He went 8-5 with a 2.76 ERA with 202 strikeouts and only 49 walks over 143 and a third innings. Just incredible numbers. 202 strikeouts. That led the minor leagues in 2024. So obviously everybody's all over this kid. They're like, yeah, this is going to be our next superstar. And then last year comes around, and it didn't quite go the way we had hoped. He had injury concerns right away out of the gate, was dealing with some shoulder stuff. And then there was the control issues. Over 22 starts at Memphis, Mathews went 4-7 with a 3.93 ERA, 107 strikeouts and 74 walks in just 94 innings, which was a massive drop in production, which also massively dropped his stock. He was a top 100 MLB prospect in that 2024 season at the end of everything, and he fell right out of it last year and is not in the top 100 right now. There's a chance he could get back in, like he's on the cusp. And after seeing what he did today, the stuff's still there, guys. So everyone's really hoping that the injuries and the walks are behind him and we can move forward with him as the guy that, you know, we can count on to be a part of this Cardinal rotation sooner rather than later. And on Thursday, boy, did he look good. He comes in for the 4th inning and he ends up striking out Brandon Lau. He ends up striking out Brian Reynolds, and he also strikes out Joey Bart. He whiffs the side. There was a double by O'Hearn mixed in there, but we don't have to talk about that. Strikes out the side. 5th inning, he gets a fly out, then whiffs Triolo and York. 6th inning, leadoff strikeout before a throwing error. Ground ball over to third base and Nolan Gorman. Nothing special. Wasn't a difficult play by any means. And he just biffs the throw. Makes a horrible throw to first base. That gets somebody on. And the next batter hits a 2-run home run on a pitch that simply just got too much of the plate. It wasn't like it was right down the middle, but it was a fastball at the knees, but it was center cut. You know, it was over the heart of the plate. And got drilled. I don't know how else to explain it. Got drilled over the wall left center to tie the game 2-2. And, you know, Mathews knew it right away. As soon as the guy hit it, he was like, man. And he, you know, because he was cruising. He was cruising until that Nolan Gorman error. Did follow up that home run, which is something that we always talk about. You know, how do you respond when something bad happens? Obviously, error, home run, not what you want to see, but he gets a strikeout on the next hitter. And that ended his day. So 2 2/3 innings, 2 runs, only one of them earned on 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. That's what I call impressive. Now, if I'd seen those numbers out of Dustin May, I'd be going wild right now. But to see him come from Quinn Mathews, pretty exciting too. The error on Gorman, again, it was a bad one, just made a bad throw, and it momentarily seemed to knock Mathews out of his rhythm. He had to throw from the stretch. So that wasn't great, but you move on, right? And he picks up the strikeout to end his day. Was hitting 96 miles per hour consistently on that four-seamer. Again, no walks, because we've seen him get wild in the spring already this year, and to see him kind of feeling himself on Thursday was pretty darn cool. So no walks. That was the kind of guy you saw in 2024. It looked just like that, where the fastball was popping, the changeup, which is his most devastating pitch. It looked good. It was falling off the table. It was nice to see Quinn Mathews have a good one. So it kind of rekindles everybody's love for him, because we know it's there. We know it's in there. He's just got to get the mechanics down and make it repeatable so that he's throwing strikes again. Because, he's got a kind of an awkward wind up and stuff. So you can see how it would get out of whack. So hopefully this is the start of good things for Quinn Mathews moving forward, and something he can build upon. Final star of the game, we're going to give it to JJ Wetherholt, our boy, JJ. Another solid day at the dish. He goes 1 for 2. His first hit of the day, opposite field hit against Mitch Keller, who we all know is a very good pitcher for the Pirates. That took a ball that was thrown away and put it right down the left field line for a base knock. It was just smooth, beautiful stuff. Also worked another walk. Looked good in the field today. He was playing shortstop instead of second base, but we haven't really heard a whole lot about any problems in the field since those the early, I don't want to call them yips, but maybe some nerves in the field. But now that he's getting more comfortable and he's out there more often, I think he's starting to look pretty smooth wherever they put him, whether it's second or shortstop. But he was at shortstop on Thursday. On the spring, JJ is now hitting .333. He's got the 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 5 runs scored, 7 walks, stole a base, and has only struck out 3 times. Those 7 walks are tied for the 3rd most in baseball, and he's now got an OBP of .579 so far this spring. To be honest with you, forget about making the opening day roster. Like, that's not really something that we need to talk about anymore. He's going to be on that roster. The real question is Ali where's he going to bat him? And he's going to have a tough time not batting him leadoff in game 1, in my opinion. And the reason being is because he's got the patience at the plate. What do you want out of a leadoff hitter? Get on base. Do you care if it's a single, or do you care if it's a double or whatever? No, just get on base. Work the pitcher, work the count, get on base. Let's see what he's got, and let's get under his skin a little bit. And JJ's got that batter's eye that is just great, and he's not chasing things. So he's going to be patient up there. He's got the ability to put the ball in play. He's not going to strike out a ton, and it's just been exceptional to watch so far this spring. Of course, he's got the power. He's got a threat to go yard as well. I think he's got 20 home run power in that bat early on in his career. Could get to be even more later on, because he is built he's a strong kid. Considering he's only about 5'9", 5'10", like, he's jacked. And he's still got the speed too to steal backs. Now, is he going to be Victor Scott fast? No. But if he's a good base stealer, you read pitchers pretty well. Stole 20-something odd bases last year in the minor league. So we know it's there. Sounds like a pretty darn good leadoff hitter to me. So if I had to make an opening day lineup, because I was thinking about this. So if JJ is my leadoff hitter, and I'm assuming that they're facing a right-hander with the Tampa Bay Rays in their first game, this is what I got for you. And I'm assuming that Lars Nootbaar is out as well, that he's going to start the year injured. So it would look like this. I got JJ playing second base, leading off, followed by Mason Wynn at shortstop, Alec Burleson at first, Ivan Herrera DHing and cleanup, Nolan Gorman at third base, Jordan Walker in right field, Nathan Church in left field. I need that defense. I need that speed. Pedro Pajas is your catcher, with Victor Scott in center field, and rounding out your lineup. So that's my pick. So it's a safe pick, obviously. These are some choices that I think they're not really like earth-shattering decisions. But what are your thoughts for that particular lineup on opening day? Let me know in the comments section, because you could argue that, hey, if Herrera is feeling good, he could be your catcher, and then you could have maybe like a Joel Pozo, who's looked really good this spring, as your DH. Is Jimmy Crooks destined for Memphis? Is he not going to make the team? Are you going to keep Herrera, Pajas, and Pozo instead of having Jimmy Crooks in there, even though he's the only left-handed hitting catcher that you got? And he's had a nice spring already, right? Game-winning hit on Thursday. He's batting .444 this spring. We're sending him down? I don't know. That's not going to be an easy decision to make. But we got a couple of weeks to, still figure things out. But let me know in the comments section what you think that opening day lineup should be if we're facing a right-hander like a Rasmussen or a Pepio, one of those two guys for Tampa Bay. More observations from this game, and we'll tell you about the Cardinals spring breakout roster, all coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. Today, I'm thrilled to be talking about our sponsor, MLB The Show 26, the greatest game in baseball. It is back, baby, with its newest installment. Fans are going to have a hard time pulling themselves away from this game like I have. I've been playing it all year. I did not even play really any other sports games throughout the year. I was just so zoned in on MLB The Show 25, and I'm going to do the same thing with MLB The Show 26. I promise you. Early access coming on the 13th, full release March 17th. We've got Red Shandy's coming into the game. Matt Carpenter and Albert Pujols are back into the game for the Cardinals. If you're a gamer, you're a baseball fan, you want to enjoy America's favorite pastime in a new and exciting way, you're going to love MLB The Show 26. World Baseball Classic stuff's going to be in there this year as well, which is cool. Play as your favorite team, franchise players, and see if you have what it takes to win your own World Series. Can you get this Cardinals roster to a 12th World Series championship? I dare you to try. Visit MLB.show/LockedOn. Use code LOCKEDON to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Internet connection is required. Pre-order now, available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day. And thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. More observations from what we saw on Thursday, which, first off, great that it was on TV again. Love that. I want to see more baseball. It was kind of a weird week not having any of that stuff on the radio or on TV. It was all on the radio. So mentioned that Nolan Gorman had that pretty bad throwing error, which was immediately followed by a game-tying home run. So not so good. That's why he wasn't one of my 3 stars, because he also hit a home run in this one. And it was off Mitch Keller in the 4th inning, a slider low in the zone that he went down and got it, used his legs, got it, put it into the air. It was one of those majestic Nolan Gorman home runs. Landed 411 feet away from home plate. Exit velo at 106.8. Gorman's second dinger of the spring. He also struck out, although he hasn't been doing that a whole lot. And it was actually a challenged call when he struck out. It was initially called a ball, and the Pirates challenged it and got it overturned, and that's how he struck out. Also grounded into an inning-ending double play, which was a bit of a bummer because that was a huge situation. You were hoping he'd come through there, but didn't happen. Jordan Walker followed up the Gorman home run with a base knock to left field, which was good. The bad was that he then tried to time the pitcher's delivery to steal second base. Went a little bit early and was gunned at second base. Technically, he was picked off, but he just broke too soon. He tried to time it perfectly. He broke too soon. He made it a play at second base, too. And if replay was around in spring training, he might have been called safe, but he was out. So it looks like a huge, massive mistake. But again, they're going to make some mistakes this year. These guys are young, and they're going to have some base running blunders. You're going to see some errors that you're like it's going to make your head explode, but that's part of this process. You're going to have to let these kids learn exactly what it takes to play at the major league level. So being aggressive here in the spring, I'm okay. I'm not, trashing Jordan Walker for that particular play. But it just showed like he can run, he can hit. Like we're hoping for good things for Jordan. It's good to see him get the base knock like he did. Jimmy Crooks, as I mentioned, had the game-winning hit in that 9th inning, and I'm not sold that he has to go to Memphis yet. I'm just not. I think that some people are kind of thinking that it's going to be Herrera, Pajas, and Pozo, that those are the guys. You're going to make this team, and Pozo's going to be that guy that also plays first base and is the right-handed bat to give Burley a break some days from the field. That makes sense. But at the same time, like if Jimmy Crooks is raking here in the spring, how do you sit him down in Memphis when you're going to be facing more righties than lefties when you're in the major leagues? Like he's going to get his at-bats. He doesn't have to be the everyday starter. You can still switch around, but I understand the numbers crunch. I get it. So people saying Herrera, Pajas, and Pozo, I'm not really arguing with you that that's not going to happen. It's just I feel bad because it seems like Jimmy Crooks has nothing left to prove at Memphis, and it's it's a numbers thing, and that's unfortunate. Victor Scott, Ramon Urias each had stolen bases in this one. Mason Wynn was back in the lineup. He had been dealing with that sore throwing arm. Initially wasn't gonna go, I think, and then decided, I'm gonna make the trip. He just DH today, didn't play shortstop, but good to see him back out there. Pitching wise, after Mathews, it was all zeros from Saladin, Swanson, Brule, Fernandez. They all looked really good. Cardinals also had 4 calls overturned in their favor in this one. Mason Wynn avoided a strikeout in the first inning when he tapped the helmet on a pitch that was a ball and had another life. He didn't get a hit or anything out of it, but instead of going back to the dugout, he got a chance to swing the bat. Pajes behind the plate. The other 3 were from our catchers. Pajes behind the plate had 2 that were called balls that he got overturned that were strikes. And these weren't borderline pitches either. It wasn't like they just barely tapped, the strike zone. Like these were bad calls that the home plate umpire just missed. So Pajes got those overturned. Same thing with Crooks. Crooks had one late in the game while he was catching that was easily a strike. Don't know why it was called a ball, but again, I'm so glad the ABS is here so that egregious mistakes like those aren't changing the game because they could have. Cards go 4 for 4 on challenges in this one, while the Pirates were 1 for 2 against home plate umpire. And when they said his name, I thought they were making a name up. It sounds like a stage name. Denver Dangerfield? Are you kidding me? Doesn't that sound like something like we've got this comedy show and it's starring, Rodney Dangerfield's kid, Denver Dangerfield. Like that's what it sounds like to me. But stage name, not an umpire, but there he was. And he had some funny calls today, but ABS overturned him and got him right. So that's what it's there for. Cardinals will be back on the diamond on Friday when they battle Baltimore. Michael McGreevy is scheduled to start against right-hander Chris Bassett, veteran right-hander. The spring breakout rosters got announced too. I want to talk about this real quick. Cardinals have a lot of young talent in the system. We know that. And for those unfamiliar with what the MLB Spring Breakout is, it's a 4-day event. It showcases, baseball's future stars. That's the idea. You get the current stars of the minor leagues. There's 16 exhibition games that are played between teams composed of each team's top prospects. So the game for the Cardinals is going to be on March 19th against the Washington Nationals prospects. And these are the 40 names that have been made available. Friend of the show, Blake Ida. Yeah, Blake's got a chance to be there. Tyler Brott, Mason Burns, Brandon Clark, Randall Clemente, Gerangelo Senja, Cade Crossland, Braden Davis, Liam Doyle, Yohiker Fajardo, Tanner Franklin, Jovi Galvez, Luis Gastelum, my dude, Tink Kentz, Ishan Henderson, Chinwei Lin, Quinn Mathews, Bryson Motts, Hansel Rincon, and Michael Watson. Those are just the pitchers. You got 20 of them there. Catching wise, Leo Bernal, Ryan Campos, Reniel Rodriguez. Infielders, 11 of them. Jesus Baez, Jalen Flores, John Gazdard, Jake Gurovich, Blaze Jordan, Josh Cross, Cade McGee, Noah Menlinger, Daniel Ortiz, Yado Padilla, JJ Wetherholt on the list still. Outfielders, Joshua Baez, Colton Ledbetter, Zach Levinson, Ryan Mitchell, Ty Pete, Miguel Ugueto. Now, this will get shaved down from, that's 40 people, shaved down to the 23-27-man roster on March 18th. So not all of them will be in the game, but a lot of fun names that I think all Cardinal fans would like to see. If healthy, I want to see Brandon Clark. I want to see Liam Doyle. I want to see Senja. I want to see Tanner Franklin and Yohiker Fajardo, guys that I haven't gotten a chance to see much. Bernal Rodriguez, clearly guys we want to watch as catchers. Wetherholt, I think we're going to see a lot of them this year. So I wonder if he even needs to be a part of this because he's going to be on the opening day roster. But I don't know. He was one of the guys that MLB Network was interviewing about it. So maybe they're kind of using him as one of the faces of this whole spring breakout. But Padilla, youngster, Ortiz, Jesus Baez, and Josh Baez, Mitchell and Pete, two of the outfielders I want to watch. So there's a lot of talent there. And I, again, think it's very, very cool. It's a great idea by MLB to give the youngsters this platform to shine. Because usually when spring training and they start shipping people to the minor league camps, they're gone. Like, you don't get to see anything else of them. And this is a chance to bring the best of the best together, like in Top Gun. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, give us a follow on X at @LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio, TikTok, Instagram, Locked On Cardinals. Like, subscribe on YouTube. If you never miss an episode, that Everydayer Club is built for you. You get Locked On Cardinals ad-free. You get the members-only Discord access and a whole lot more. It's very, very cool. If you haven't done it already, head to LockedOnSTLCardinals.supercast.com. Use the code word SPRING. Free month. SPRING. Join the club. For those of you on video, we'll send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure your second listen is Locked On MLB. You guys are the best fans in baseball for a reason. We'll talk again tomorrow on Locked On Cardinals.